Okay, so here we are with the second step in the build process on my D2 Evo two-wheel drive buggy, which is going to be the differential. So this is bag B. We're going to get on with it. This should be a pretty simple one, what it looks like. Never built one of these, so bear with me. Also bear with me, I've got a cable hooked up to my phone because my battery was low, so I'm trying to make sure I don't lose this footage. So we'll see how that goes. So get these guys opened up and see what we got here. Never built one of these. The only one of these I've messed with is in a spec slash, so I'm sure this is much better. Go ahead and get all the bags opened up, all the parts scattered out. I built diffs in 8 scales thousands of times. I've built ball diffs in two-wheel drives in the past, but never one of these, so we'll see. Kind of like this, but I never did like ball diffs, so if this works out, it's gonna be great. Looks like the same O-rings in an 8 scale. Very similar diff seals, much smaller of course. Okay, so let's see here. Step 1 looks like we're going to take one of these. I guess these are the same on both of them. Yep. So we're going to go ahead and put, looks like we got an out drive. What's that out drive? It's very similar to 8 scale. I'm going to put some grease on it. Going to use some of my Racing grease that I use on the 8 scale. Racing development. So we'll go ahead and just put a little grease on the out, just a little bit. Just so I'm not putting that in there dry. Put a little bit on the O-ring. Like this is similar to an 8 scale, so you got your bearing on this cup. Looks like we got to put, I'm going to use this O-ring grease like we do on the 8 scale. Too much grease, so I'll wipe the excess off. Looks like then we go out drive. Then we get a tiny little pin. It's so cute. Okay, that's very similar to an 8 scale, and then we go ahead and get our gear on there. Make sure it's locked in place. Looks like that bearing comes off there, so you don't have to worry about holding that on there. Okay, and then looks like the gear goes on there, outer gear goes on there with the seal. And I'm going to go ahead and do just like I do on my 8 scale, put a little grease on both sides of the seal, just a tiny bit, just create a little bit better seal. I'll drop it on down on there. upright, so pretty sure that's crucial. It looks like that presses down in there really nice. I'll take my okay, and then we go then we go ahead and screw this on there. Again, tiny little screws. That's more like a 1.5. 1.5 on these screws just seems loose. I don't know if it's the MIP size or the screw size actually. Just be real careful not to strip them out. Like I say, you may want to run that 1/16, run it tight. Goes pretty snug with it. You gotta be real careful with these not to strip them out because it's plastic. Okay, there's that part of it. So now we've got the cross pins and the other gears. Looks like we're gonna do the 1,000 weight oil. Let's go ahead and crack that out. 1,000 weight, this 500 shock oil. I'll save it. I don't know if I'll ever use it. As sure as I throw it away, I'll be looking for it. Now, when I do a 8 scale, I like to go ahead and put some fluid down in there. I like that bottle though. That way it gets evenly distributed a little better. I'll come back and fill it up once I get these in there. So looks like we get gear, a washer, just like on an 8 scale diff. Kind of like that. Okay, and we'll drop it in there with the pliers. Tiny stuff right here. Like my fingers are a little too fat. Okay, we got it. Alright, it says silicone oil diff 1000. Fill the top of cross shafts with silicone oil. Just like on the 8 scale. Go ahead and let it settle in there and rotate it around. It's going to go in these little crevices and everything. 1000 weight's pretty thin, so it'll settle down in there pretty easy. I put some of these little spots where the pin goes. That's pretty good right there. Rotate it around, let it get in all the crevices. Okay, I'm gonna go with that. It's to the top of the cross pins like it says. Okay, now all we gotta do is repeat the process on the other side. Looks like there's some shims for mounting the diff, 2 different locations. Go ahead and grease this and put it in first. That makes more sense. One thing, this will make it stick to this piece better, make the assembly a little easier. Gotta line these holes up good. Okay, then we'll go ahead and some O-ring grease in there. It's usually what I do, like on an 1/8 scale. I'll lay this gear down and line up the pins with the holes. So that's what I'm going to do here. So I'll line these up with the holes as well, flip it over here till it seats down in there. Boom, just like that. So now we screw this guy together, and this next step will be done. I'm gonna just get in there close with the 1.5 and come in and snug it up with the 1/16 because I feel a little better about it. Let's see what it feels like. It feels good. Feels smooth. And then we got our bearings on there. Looks like that part's done. All right, on to the next step. We'll see you next time.